So today, as a fun charitable challenge, I thought we would play in order to help raise money for the Ukrainian crisis. Now, I don't want to do anything twisted like make the outcome of war victims contingent on whether I win or lose a game of Pokémon, so I will just play until I hit a preset donation target. But the essential challenge will be I have to win in order to make the donation. And we are playing a top 200 player with an absolutely terrifying team. Haven't seen Tyranitar in a very long time, so it's very interesting. Shedinja obviously has that terrifying ability which can nullify any attack it's not weak to, so you have to bring super effective damage with that in mind. This puts me out my comfort zone a little bit because Zapdos isn't necessarily the greatest lead here. I think actually I have to go Zapdos and Zacian potentially. I'm trying to think how to counter their Tyranitar though, because if I lead my Zapdos, I can just get absolutely destroyed by Tyranitar. Or is Ferrothorn the magic trick here? Because Ferrothorn obviously does give us pressure into Kyogre and Tyranitar simultaneously, as does Kyogre itself. I actually think Kyogre's the best lead here, simply because with the Assault Vest, it can actually put a lot of pressure onto the opponent's Zapdos. I still really like Persian for Fake Out and Fake Tear support. And I think we need Zapdos in the back to help us play against this very terrifying Shedinja. So definitely something of a novelty team. Again, I'm very intrigued in the Tyranitar. It's been kind of brutally phased out of the meta ever since the rise of Kyogre and Rillaboom. So it is Kyogre Zapdos. Now I actually think this is not the worst position in the world for my Kyogre, simply because it is Assault Vested, so it can take the Zapdos' attacks, and I think from their perspective, they're probably never expecting me to Dynamax Kyogre here because it's not, intuitively in a great position, but I'm going to go for it. The question is, I guess, if they switch Zapdos into Shedinja, that would be a pretty terrifying play. I'm going to go for Max Geyser into Icy Wind. So I think they're Dynamax. I think this would be absolutely incredible for me because with Icy Wind we can command speed control over the Zapdos, and Max Geyser should be a 2-hit knockout, and with the Assault Vest we shouldn't take too much damage. I guess there's a very serious risk my Persian goes down here. But if they max Lightning into my Kyogre, that's really not a huge issue because the Assault Vest obviously substantially reduces damage from special attacks. And particularly in a best of one, I think this is a great example of leveraging surprise against your opponent, because I don't think my opponent is ever expecting me to max Kyogre here, because one of its slots neutralizes it defensively and the other slot counters it offensively. So it seems like a bit of a madman risk here, but you need to take risks. And they're not Scarf Ogre, so we do attack first. I think this is honestly looking to be a phenomenal position for us, and as you can see we almost knock out Zapdos outright, and it is just Origin Pulse. Interested to see who they target. If they go for Max Lightning into Kyogre, that's phenomenal. They do go for Max Airstream, which is, just respecting the Protect or the Switch Out in the Kyogre slot, which I think is smart. But I still think this is a pretty good position for us because we can outspeed their Zapdos with Zacian. So if I was them, I think the smartest play you could make here would be to max guard Zapdos, and that would allow you to angle for a free attack into Zacian. My other question is just quick attack KO. Part of me wants to go Max Lightning into Kyogre and Protect. Just because I think the max guard makes so much sense here. Or we could just take the knockout in front of us. Key thing here is I don't think Origin Pulse would KO, but if they do outspeed my Kyogre, then Water Spout probably would. So I don't want to give them the pleasure of that, so I am going to Protect, just to give me that space. So let's see what they go for here. Yep, predicted that like a you motherfucker. Whew, that's satisfying. That's for Ukraine. That's for Ukraine, guys. That prediction was for Ukraine. And this puts us in just an absolutely game-winning position unless they go for something crazy like the double protect. Because we can obviously just max strike into... I'm a bit worried about static, I guess. I guess their Kyogre still outputs a lot of pressure here. Yeah, I mean, they still get a free Origin Pulse off, so it's not the end of the world for them. So I would assume this is Zashi and Shedinja in the back. Zashi and Incineroar. Yeah, I think... So their best play here would be to Protect, to stall out my Dynamax. And then maybe... Oh god, we actually already lost our Dynamax. Okay, this is not the best situation in the world. I think I just have to double attack here. I guess I could switch out Kyogre into Zapdos. Yeah, they correctly identify they're faster than me. I think this all comes down to whether they have Play Rough. I think if they have Play Rough or Close Combat and they knock out Kyogre, they always win. They could also play for an Origin Pulse miss. Tension with a knife. They go for Protect, which I don't understand because Kyogre will outspeed Incineroar and just... Unless they're playing for the miss, I guess. Or they're like Assault Vest. Ooh, they do survive. I see, they're trying to play around me being Scarf. But I'm not Scarf, so I guess that gives them some extra chip, but... no, rather they're playing around the rain, of course. It's not the end of the world for me, just because I do have Heat Wave. So if I can take one attack with Zapdos, we should be able to double hit KO with Heat Wave. They do have play rough. Okay, this is going to be extremely close. Key thing is that Heat Wave will do more damage next turn because it will be single target. Ah, fuck my life orb. Do we need to go? Does Thunder do more damage? No, not with the drain going. Fuck. Okay then. Okay then, we did not get our donation goal that game, but we will have to play another one then. Simple as that. Yeah, so I think the key turn I messed up there was the fake out turn, because I assumed they were going to go fake out and knock out Kyogre, giving me a free Behemoth Blade, but they essentially bet the house on them being faster than my Zacian, which is kind of risky, but definitely paid off for them. Dialga is an absolutely horrific matchup for my team. Sometimes I just like to go with Kyogre because it does have the Assault Vest. That being said, I think Fate Tears Landorus also does quite well here, but I think I will go with Kyogre. I could also lead Zacian just to kind of bluff them. Come on, gotta get this right. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of ways you can play around this. I can bait and switch by, you know, like leading Zacian, switching into Landorus and just, you know, taking the Max Quake. I can go all out offense. The problem with the Fake Tears into Max Landorus is the Grimmsnarl could just go for Fake Out. So yeah, it is Dialga. So the first read I have to make here is, are they going to go for Fake Out? Because if they go for Fake Out, they can obviously just make my Persian redundant, which I don't like. So, question is, do I even want to Dynamax here? I think that's a really solid case to just wait and Dynamax Landorus because I don't want to knock out Grimmsnarl because it could just give them a free switch into Rillaboom. I think I will Dynamax just because Dialga is one of those Pokemon. When I play against it, my objective is just to damage it as quickly and as fast as possible because otherwise it's a fucking eyesore. Especially, this is one of the reasons why I prefer close combat on Zacian. Just gives you more damage into this thing. So if I was them, I'd probably max Quake into the Persian slot to get the special defense boost. They do max Wormind, which, yeah, I don't mind at all, because with the Assault Vest, we take that very well. It's actually really good for us, because next turn we can go for Fake Tears or Icy Wind. a bit bizarre, obviously, just going for a type resisted attack, but I don't mind it in the slightest because, you know, with Kyogre's damage output still does very, very credible damage. We can potentially go for Icy Wind next turn. I would assume this is either Fake Tears or Light Screen coming out from Grimmsnarl. Yeah, Fake Tears. I would assume if they had Max Lightning, they would have gone for it. As long as they don't have Max Lightning. The reason I think this position still favours me is because we do have Icy Wind support. They go for Max Quake, which even after the Fake Tears doesn't do a huge amount of damage. But they do get the special defense boost, which will definitely allow them to survive another turn. Oh, question is, does Foul Play KO? I think Icy Wind is more consistent here, but I really want to get greedy and try and get the double knockout. Wow, that could be a disaster for them if Foul Play gets the knockout. Yes, let's go. And I assume this is just going to be Focus Sash. No, so yeah, that was a very dangerous switch, and that that double up with Foul Play really pays off for me. It was a huge risk because if Dialga survives somehow, and Dialga is a special attacker and Foul Play's damage is based off physical stats, so that's why it was a little bit of a risk, but as a legendary Pokemon, even its worst stats are high enough that I was reasonably confident in that. So we're 4-2 up now, we're in an incredible position. Key thing here is that they haven't even broken Focus Sash on Persian. So now I can just go for Icy Wind. Icy Wind into Origin Pulse. And with Scarf Landorus in the back, we should always be able to win this. Yeah, they did have Fake Out, so that Fake Out from me on turn 1 was wise. And they are going for the knockout into Persian, seemingly. Yeah, they're clearly just filled with rage. Oh, interesting, interesting. Yeah, that's definitely the best play by them. I think now we go into Landorus. And because it's Scarf Landorus, they would never think to use Scary Face or Speed Control here. So we will outspeed. They'll probably have to target the Landorus, and that will give us a free opportunity to Icy Wind. And with that speed drop, my Zacian should always be able to 1v2 here. Come on, come on. Got donations to make. And they forfeit, so I will upload a YouTube short later today making a charitable donation in honor of this win. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. If you have any content recommendations or teams you'd like me to try out, please let me know. Cheers.